It began with an Instagram story posted at 2:17 a.m. A grainy photo of a French Bulldog lying motionless on a hospital-grade memory foam dog bed. His tiny chest was wrapped in gauze, his snub-nosed face barely visible behind the translucent cone of shame. Tubes and wires ran from his legs to machines just off-frame. The caption? Just 8 words, but they hit like a sledgehammer. Asterisk, backslash $60K and worth every penny. Hugo's alive. Asterisk, what followed was something no one expected. Not Hugo's owner, not the clinic, not even the fractured online communities that would explode into digital war within 24 hours. That single post ignited one of the most emotionally charged and divisive national conversations about pets' priorities and privilege in recent memory. The French Bulldog's name was Hugo, a 5-year-old companion with a glossy brindle coat and a chronic airway condition. Like many flat-faced breeds, Hugo had lived with respiratory issues since he was a puppy, but in late March, his condition spiraled. He collapsed during a walk in West Hollywood, gasping violently. By the time his owner, Callie Mercer, a 34-year-old senior UX designer at a major tech company, rushed him to the emergency vet, Hugo had already turned blue. He was diagnosed with advanced brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome. Surgery was urgent, but complex. Traditional methods might prolong his life for a year, maybe 2. But there was another option, an experimental procedure at a private clinic in Beverly Hills using 3D printed stents and soft tissue reconstruction. Price tag $60, 000. Not covered by insurance. Non-refundable. Callie didn't hesitate. I know it sounds insane, she would later say in a now viral podcast interview. But you don't look at your best friend struggling to breathe and say, what's the ROI here? You just say, I've got you. Her decision became a lightning rod. Within hours, screenshots of her original post landed on Reddit. The subredditor /am_asshole debated whether Callie was selfish. Twitter/X was flooded with hot takes. 60 grand for a dog? That's a year of college tuition. She saved her baby. What would you do? This is late-stage capitalism's cutest symptom. The post reached TikTok next, and that's when things truly spiraled. A Gen Z creator stitched Callie's story with a tearful video from inside a no-kill shelter in Des Moines. She explained how $60, 000 could have covered vaccines, food, and microchips for over 200 dogs. I love Frenchies too, she said, but this is the price of 12 entire adoption drives. 12. By the next morning, hashtags were trending. Hashtag Save Hugo. Hashtag 60 grand dog. Hashtag pet priorities. Hashtag what would you pay? Hugo became a symbol, but what he represented depended on who you asked. To some, he was embodiment of boundless love, the kind that knows no budget, the kind that says, yes, he's just a dog, but he's my dog. To others, Hugo was a luxury project, a symptom of society more willing to drop 5 figures on a purebred pet than support children's hospitals or food banks. Morning shows picked up the story. News anchors smirked through their summaries. Vets were interviewed. Ethicists wrote op-eds. A prominent philosopher tweeted, our moral compass is warped when we spend more on prolonging one dog's life than we do on feeding hungry kids. Meanwhile, Hugo was recovering. Slowly. He regained his bark first, then his appetite. He was breathing better, walking better. The clinic posted a video of him chasing a tennis ball for the first time post-op. The comment section was a war zone. He looks happy. That's what matters. Do you know how many strays died this week? I do it too, and I'm not rich. This is disgusting. Full stop. Then came the think pieces. BuzzFeed ran a piece titled Love or Madness. The $60K Frenchie and the American Heart. The Atlantic counter with why Hugo matters more than you think. Vice went darker. You can't afford health insurance, but this dog can breathe in 4K. Celebrities weighed in. Chrissy Teigen called it beautiful. PETA condemned it as obscene. Elon Musk tweeted a shrug emoji with the word priorities. But the most unexpected twist came from within the vet industry itself. Some clinics began reporting spikes in hostility. A veterinary nurse in Seattle said her team received threats after a viral TikTok claimed vets upsell grief like car salesmen. One clinic had its Google reviews tanked by people who had never set foot inside. Yet not everything was chaos. Something else happened, too. Pet insurance companies reported a 28% spike in sign-ups within 2 weeks. GoFundMe saw a surge in campaigns for pet surgeries. Animal shelters reported a surprising wave of donations, some tagged with messages like asterisk for the dogs Hugo couldn't save. Asterisk rescue orgs created sponsored campaigns under hashtags like hashtag Hugo's Hope to raise funds for long-overlooked breeds. Callie eventually issued a statement on her private blog, reposted by hundreds of news outlets. I didn't post Hugo's story to go viral. I posted because I was overwhelmed, scared, and grateful he made it through the night. I didn't expect the world to care. I certainly didn't expect the world to care this much. But I'll say this, if loving him this hard makes me crazy, then so be it. At least he's still here to snore at my feet. The statement only deepened the divide. But for all the noise, something lingers in the silence that follows any viral whirlwind, the reckoning. We spend billions on our pets. We cry harder over their deaths than we sometimes do over relatives. We treat them like children, but when the bill looks like a college tuition, our values crack wide open. Was Hugo worth $60,000? The answer, it turns out, has nothing to do with Hugo at all, and everything to do with who we become when love is tested by price.